Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Day 91 of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Vladimir Putin appears to have decided that the Luhansk region must be conquered at all costs, which is why Russian forces are being transferred in this direction from Mariupol, Kharkiv and the Donetsk region. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told participants of the Davos forum that only the withdrawal of Russian troops to the lines before the 24th of February could be the first step to talks. The Russians are shooting at points on the Severodonetsk where civilians are hiding. Their destinations are shelters located in schools and on the territory of the local Azov plant. The current situation in Donbas is extremely difficult. All Russian forces are now concentrated in the region. Liman, Popasna, Severodonetsk and Sloviansk. There the occupiers want to destroy everything. We must remember that we survived these 3 months thanks to the tens of thousands of heroic deeds of our country's defenders and tens of thousands of Ukrainian women and Ukrainians killed by the occupiers. Almost 30,000 soldiers killed, thousands of Russian tanks and other equipment lost. Russian missile stocks are running out, and they want to cover it all up with a lie that they're not fighting with full force. This is pathetic, and the time will come when they admit it themselves.
Переломити їхню перевагу у кількості техніки і озброєнь.
Today, Kramatorsk and Pokrovsk were also bombarded. An industrial facility in Kryvyi Rih was badly damaged. In Zaporizhzhia, 62 private houses and a shopping centre were bombed. Today, at 5 a.m., Russian troops fired missiles maneuvering the city of Zaporizhzhia. One missile was hit by the Ukrainian anti-aircraft defence. Others fell in 2 parts on the city. 1 person was killed and 3 were injured. The Russian army is constantly firing at Uliapole, trying to destroy the city that is blocking the possibility of an attack towards Zaporizhzhia. The Luhansk Oblast has been completely without gas, and the last gas distribution station is no longer operational. There has been no electricity and water for a long time. In Mariupol, the occupiers opened another filtration point, and during the demining of the ruins of the Azovstal, 2 more Russian sappers were seriously injured. There will be a lot of work. The Ukrainians have mined the area, and we are also using mines to make their defense difficult. The demining will take at least 2 weeks. Since the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, Russia has already lost nearly 29,500 soldiers, over 3,200 armoured combat vehicles, 206 aircraft, and 112 cruise missiles. According to first reports, the defenders of Azovstal, now in captivity, are being held in satisfactory conditions. As he reported in a short telephone conversation with his wife, the commander of the Azov regiment, Denis Prokopenko, the Russians have so far not used violence against prisoners. And this year's economic forum in Davos is dominated by the Russian invasion of Ukraine and its consequences for the whole world. More countries are making efforts to improve security, fearing Russian imperialism. After Sweden and Finland, which have officially applied for accession to NATO, Moldova and Georgia intend to apply for membership of the European Union. Yesterday, Ursula von der Leyen. Today, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Dmytro Kuleba, speaking at the International Economic Forum in Davos, drew attention to the global food crisis for which Russia is responsible.
It's Russia who bears sole responsibility for this global food crisis. And everyone should be standing on this. Everyone who defends the rule of law and international system as it stands should stand on that position instead of looking for ways to quietly play into the hands of Russia.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine has forced the leaders of other countries to take new measures to increase security. In Davos, representatives of the governments of Georgia and Moldova spoke about plans to join the European Union.
We have no other alternative. As I said, this is the choice of Georgian people, and we will do whatever we can. We will do the maximum in order to get closer to the European Union, to get closer to the ultimate goal, which is the full-fledged membership of the European Union.
We welcome any mechanism for bringing us closer together, improving our cooperation. We strongly believe that membership in the European Union is actually what distributes this peace, stability, and value-based prosperity. And, we want to be part of the free world and of this EU families.
In turn, yesterday evening, government delegations from Sweden and Finland came to the capital of Turkey, Ankara, to talk about the conditions for these Scandinavian countries to join NATO. Turkey had announced a veto, claiming that these countries are a haven for Kurdistan Workers' Party fighters and the initiators of the failed coup of 2016. The President of the European Council spoke today about the importance of Sweden's accession to the alliance.
This is a pivotal moment for Sweden and the whole EU, and your application for NATO membership comes at a crucial time. The values of peace, prosperity, freedom, and democracy are now at stake in our European soil, and these values were forged from the ashes of the two world wars. And your decision is strongly supported by the Swedish people. We respect your choice. We fully support your choice and your decision.
Each day of the war in Ukraine means more suffering and destruction. That is why the German Foreign Minister, Annalena Baerbock, visiting Norway, appealed for continued vigilance. Ukrainians still need solidarity and support from the West in their fight against Russia.
Obviously, the Russian president is not willing to stop bombing innocent civilians, and that is why we have to make sure that Ukraine can defend their territory, defend their citizens, and we keep supporting them as long as they need it. And therefore, we are doing everything that citizens of Ukraine can live in peace and security as every other European country.
Politicians and experts have no doubt. Only solidarity pressure on Vladimir Putin can bring about results and bring the war to an end in Ukraine. The Russian president hoped to divide the West. The exact opposite happened. As President Mateusz Morawiecki emphasized during yesterday's speech in Davos, we are only united when we are strong. Members of Parliament will consider the draft amendment to the law on the Supreme Court. The same as Justice Committee recommended a presidential draft amendment to the Act on the Supreme Court, which provides for the liquidation of the current disciplinary chamber of the Supreme Court. This is one of the most important conditions for unblocking European Union funds for the National Reconstruction Plan. Law and Justice MP Krzysztof Lipiec presented the report of the Justice and Human Rights Committee dealing with bills reforming the Supreme Court. They seem to concern the important issue related to the liquidation of the disciplinary chamber in the Supreme Court and its replacement with the Chamber of Professional Responsibility. It was not without exciting discussion. Krzysztof Śmiszek, a member of the New Left, accused the government of not removing, in his opinion, illegally appointed judges. The act is like a huge concrete mixer that flooded illegal judges, which cemented their presence in the Polish judiciary. In turn, Janusz Kowalski, Member of Parliament of Solidarity Poland, accused the opposition of wanting to carry out every command of the European Commission. You insult Polish judges, you talk about neo-judges, you talk about neo-judges. You do not mind Franciszek Iwulski, a communist who in the 1970s had a Soviet uniform and is in the Supreme Court today. You want to have such sleeves, and so there is no consent. The chairman of the Justice Committee, MP Marek Ast, denied that the Professional Liability Chamber of Judges was a copy of the Disciplinary Chamber. The method of selecting judges to the Chamber of Civil Responsibility is different, and the structure of this chamber is different. The subject of judicial reform was a cause of much friction in the United Right coalition. A lively discussion took place over the shape of this draft in the privacy of many offices. Not only talks in the United Right itself, but also talks of solidarity between Poland and, more specifically, of Deputy Minister of Justice Sebastian Kaleta with the President's office. The Minister of Development and Technology, Waldemar Buda, said on Polish radio that the European Commission may approve the KPO as early as next Wednesday. It should be a matter of a few months before payments are started. I can say that I have confirmation that the KPO will actually be formally approved in the near future. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, is to provide official information on the matter. The head of the European Commission is going to Warsaw soon with this good news about the unblocking of the KPO. For Poland to meet the so-called milestone in the liquidation of the disciplinary chamber of the Supreme Court, the relevant act should be signed by the President by the end of June. All of America is shocked by the tragedy that took place in Texas. Yesterday, an 18-year-old gunman entered the school in the city of Uvalde and started shooting at the children. 21 people died, including 19 children. In most US states, access to weapons is common. The killer himself bought a pistol and a rifle for his 18th birthday. Family members gathered at a civic centre, with some crying and praying while waiting to hear further updates from the authorities. The carnage began with the 18-year-old suspect identified as Salvador Ramos, who shot his own grandmother and survived, authorities said. He fled that scene and crashed his car near the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, a town about 80 miles west of San Antonio. There he launched a bloody rampage that ended when he was killed, apparently shot by police.
Yes, I do, but the names have not been released, so I don't know which ones lost their children. And I know most of the folks here in Uvalde because I used to be a city councilman, former city councilman. So I know most of them, and they're good people, good folks, and my heart goes out to them, condolences to them too, and very sad day for Uvalde. Not only today, but the days to come.
Mass shootings in America have frequently led to public protests and calls for stricter background checks on gun sales and other firearm controls common in other countries. But such measures have repeatedly failed.
I am sick and tired of it. We have to act. And don't tell me we can't have an impact on this carnage. I spent my career as a senator and a vice president working to pass common sense gun laws. We can and won't prevent every tragedy, but we know they work and have positive impact. When we passed the assault weapons ban, mass shootings went down. When the law expired, mass shootings tripled. The idea that an 18-year-old kid can walk into a gun store and buy 2 assault weapons is just wrong. What in God's name do you need an assault weapon for except to kill someone? Deer aren't running through the forest with Kevlar vests on, for God's sake. It's just sick. And the gun manufacturers have spent 2 decades aggressively marketing assault weapons, which make them the most and largest profit. For God's sake, we have to have the courage to stand up to the industry.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programs. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.